Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. We may now be seated. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Career Executive Service Board's, or CESB's, 49th founding anniversary and the CES Lifelong Learning for Leadership Congress 2022. To begin our program, we have Attorney Carlo Alexei Nograles, Chairperson of the Civil Service Commission and Career Executive Board, to give his welcome message.
His Excellency, Honorable President. His Excellency, Honorable President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr., Sir, members of the Career Executive Service Board, CESB Secretariat, agency heads, career executives from various national years of efficient and dedicated public service to the Filipino people. On a personal note, today is another milestone for me as I get to address the country's career executives as chairperson of the Civil Service Commission and as chair of the Career Executive Service Board. And this is my first CES Lifelong Learning for Leadership Congress in both capacities. But as everyone in this hall will attest to, with hard work and solid vision, anything is possible. The past almost 3 years of unprecedented and multifaceted challenges brought about by the pandemic solidified this common belief. Even as we felt discouraged, confused, and uncertain at times during the COVID-19 pandemic, through creativity, innovation, and our unwavering desire to serve, the Career Executive Service Board and the CSC remained resilient and even achieved milestones in public service, and we will only get better from here. For this year's CESCon, our theme, Rebound CES, Bounce Back Better, perfectly encapsulates what we aim to do in the months and years to follow, guided by our commitment to build a better and more resilient nation and our knowledge that we can accomplish what we set our minds to, no matter what lies ahead. We will undoubtedly bounce back better and stronger than ever before. In that process of rebounding, career executives must inspire and encourage reforms and innovations in the bureaucracy that will lead to better governance systems for the Filipinos. And through our fervent will to be excellent leaders, we must be able to come up with projects and plans that directly address the people's needs. The CSC and the CESB are partners in realizing this vision of building a better nation with our respective mandates to establish a career service and adopt measures to promote morale, efficiency, integrity, responsiveness, progressiveness, and courtesy in the civil service. To strengthen the merit and reward system, to integrate all human resource development programs for all levels and ranks, and institutionalize a management climate conducive to public accountability. We are tasked to develop a high-performing and efficient civil service system for our 1.8 million Lingkod Bayanis, who are the driving force behind the achievement of peace and security, economic stability, and social equality in the country. Our participants here, led by no less than the President, Bongbong Marcos, the career service executives are all visionaries. And in our goal to bounce back better as a nation, visionaries are, of course, vital. Our insight and our abilities to create and imagine have kept us afloat and triumphant despite adversity. And through our vision and the vision of President Bongbong Marcos, our shared vision, complemented by our collective action, we can pave the way for our nation to move forward. And since our goal for this year's CESCON is to be more than what we are now, we must push ourselves to be better. And the first step to attaining this is by continuously transforming ourselves as individuals in public service. Since everything begins with the self, let us look within ourselves and work on what we can change and improve as civil servants. Together, the better individuals that we become, the better organizations we will create. And likewise, in this year's CESCON, it is important that we reflect. While we are aware of our strengths, having survived and thrived in even the harrowing years of the pandemic, we must use that experience to re-examine ourselves, our work ethics, our values, our processes, our projects, our activities, and think about how we can improve these even more. We must focus on learning and development in capacity-building initiatives that would enable our government workforce to rapidly and effectively respond to the ever-evolving changes in time. Aligned to this, we must look to the implementation of strategic performance management systems, or SPMS, while also recognizing the need to recalibrate work targets, work outputs, affecting performance appraisal systems due to the pandemic. The CSC allowed agencies to draw up their recalibrated parameters and performance standards to reflect upon the prevailing conditions, and I believe that most of our career executives here played a vital and important role to implement these in your respective organizations. Finally, we must always welcome change. We know that with the new leadership, with a new president at the helm, comes many opportunities to reshape what we have become accustomed to, and to introduce new methods, ideas, technologies that can revolutionize our current processes in the public service. Becoming better entails that we will have to take risks. And I hope that at this conference, we are able to reflect on what other changes must still be done to pave the way forward for us and for our clientele, the Filipino people. Among the changes that the President spoke to me about, and one that the CSC strongly advocates for, is the digital transformation of the Philippine bureaucracy. We have to apply the lessons that we learned in the past 3 years to improve our processes and our services to give more efficient, seamless, and responsive services to our stakeholders. And I encourage our CESOs and CESES here to be champions of digital transformation and lead our government workers on future-proofing our public service delivery. For our part, rest assured, the CSC will endeavor to be the precursor of an agile, resilient, and future-ready government office. To our CESOs, let me remind you that the highest standard should always be surpassed. I trust that even as we think that we have achieved the very best, there is always room to do more, and we must strive to be better. I trust that your professionalism, your integrity, tenacity, and zeal will bring our quality of governance to greater heights with the leadership of President Bongbong Marcos. So, to the organizers of the 2022 CESCON and the Career Executive Service Board, thank you very much for your support. To the President, to us in the CSC. And let us continue our solid partnership guided by our shared vision of better governance and service delivery that will impact the lives of more than 100 million Filipino people. It is my hope that we learn fresh ideas and welcome new perspectives at this CESCON 2022 that will lead to more transformations inside and outside our respective organizations. And I challenge each and every one of you here to give your all in this year's CESCON, to relearn, to gain new knowledge that will aid in our vision to bounce back better and to build a better and brighter future for the Philippines. And this is what our country and fellow Filipinos deserve. Isang karangalan ang maglingkod sa bayan, kaya taas noo, seso. Daghang salamat, mabuhay po kayo, at mabuhay ang serbisyo publiko.
Thank you very much for that welcome message, Chairperson Nograles. And now, to give her message and to highlight the history of CES, we have the Career Executive Service Board's Executive Director, Ms. Maria Marcy Cosare Ballesteros.
His Excellency, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., the honorable members and chairperson of the CS Governing Board, my fellow government workers, good afternoon. Welcome to the 2022 CES Congress. On behalf of the CS Governing Board and the CS community, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to His Excellency President Bongbong Marcos for the honor of your presence in this national CES Congress. Indeed, an answered prayer that at the beginning of your administration, you would meet the CES community and the CESB as an institution that was built and established by your father. We would also like to thank you, His Excellency, for the recent appointment of 3 new members of the CS Governing Board, which now have a quorum. For the past 49 years, the CES has been a quiet pillar of governance, working hand in hand with political leaders of this country, and the CESB has stayed true to its mandate of ensuring stability and continuity in governance amidst political transitions. As I wish not to forbid the CS community of the President's wisdom and direction, once again, thank you, His Excellency, for this breath of new hope. To the CS community, your presence here today is a manifestation of your commitment to a professional executive level of the bureaucracy. In turn, sir, we shall not be passive recipient of your generosity, but a true ally in achieving our common vision and goals for this country. Sir, we heard your call to put our shoulders on the wheel, and rest assured that we shall give our best for that wheel to have a faster turn, to build and to address challenges in new ways as you lead us to. As we are gathered here in celebration of the 49 years of the CSB and the CES, we therefore find it fitting to commemorate this day with an AVP on the history of the Career Executive Service. Maraming salamat po.
For the past 49 years, the Career Executive Service, or CES, has provided a home for the community of competent and committed public servant leaders known as CESOs, men and women who serve at the front lines of national development and as the vanguards of nation building. A brainchild and legacy of the late President Ferdinand E. Marcos, the CES was created through Integrated Reorganization Plan in 1972. and operationalized on November 14, 1973, to form a continuing pool of well-selected and development-oriented administrators who shall provide competent and faithful service. The institution was to be called the Career Executive Service Board, or the CESB. The CESB is mandated to form a continuing pool of well-selected and development-oriented career administrators who shall provide competent and faithful service, while its vision is to provide leadership and continuity in governance, imbue relevance, build collaboration, and inspire trust in achieving national development goals hand in hand with political leaders, the bureaucracy, and the citizens. Its mission, on the other hand, is to maintain continuity and stability in the civil service and serve as a critical link between government and the Filipino people. It is likewise tasked to infuse its ranks with well-selected and developed oriented leaders, and through them bring change, expertise, and leadership for a responsive public service. Led by eminent thought leaders of our times, the Career Executive Service Board, or CESB, is tasked to promulgate rules, standards, and procedures on the selection, classification, compensation, and career development of members of the CES. Through its rigid selection process and career development programs, the CESB advocates careerism in the upper echelon of the civil service, where government executives are appointed to CES positions not through patronage but through merit and fitness.
The CESB policies have evolved over the years to adapt to the changing times. Until 1986, the Career Executive Service Development Program, a training program administered by the Development Academy of the Philippines, was the mode of entry to the CES. Initially open to incumbents of CS positions, the CESDP paved the way for the first examination-based screening system administered by the Career Executive Service Board. In 1988, the CESB launched the first nationwide examination that started the wider competitive selection process. Since then, CS eligibility is acquired through the four-stage CES eligibility examination process, composed of written examination, assessment center, validation of on-the-job performance, and interview.
The CES legacy of Executive Development Program continues. Anchored on the CES Core Competency Framework, the CESB has nurtured thousands of public servant leaders through its innovative and responsive capacity-building programs. The Leadership and Management Proficiency Program, with its three-pronged framework of knowing oneself, or the salamin, relating with others, or the diwa, and leading the organization, or the gabay, has honed individuals who were later on distinguished as exemplars and paragons of the Philippine civil service. The CESB also offers seminars, workshops, and conferences aimed at promoting the holistic development and lifelong learning of its members. The performance of CESOs are evaluated annually through the Career Executive Service Performance Evaluation System. Through the years, the community has also honored those who exemplify best in public service. Aims to be the home of leaders who are proud and united in their commitment to serve the nation and the Filipino people, regardless of the challenges that lay ahead. The CESB Secretariat, through its 5 working divisions, is future-ready, with CESB programs available through digital platforms and its processes ISO certified. Their services remain accessible to the community at all times.
Moving forward, we envision a stronger CES system through policy reforms that would allow the bureaucracy to build the critical mass of CESOs and eligibles who will deliver competent, honest, and professional service to our people. As we prepare to celebrate our 50th golden anniversary in 2023 under the term of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., we reaffirm our commitment to the values and principles that inspire our home, which is the CES. Paglilingkod, katapatan, at pagmamahal sa bayan.
A round of applause for the continuing efforts and success of the CES. Thank you, Executive Director Cosare Ballesteros. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to again invite Chairperson Carlo Alexei Nograles to please do the honor of introducing our guest of honor.
Mga kababayan, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you, Chairman Carlo Nograles, the Chairperson of the Civil Service Commission. My lagi kong sundo whenever I come through here is our good mayor, Mayor Imelda Calixto Rubiano, the Executive Director, Maria Marcy Cosare Ballesteros, the President of the Development Academy of the Philippines, Attorney Engelbert Cardonan, the Undersecretary Menrado Pangulayan, Ms. Milan Havellano, Chairperson of the Organization Development Practitioners Network, Deputy Executive Director Eric Jan Macapagal, fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am delighted to be with all of you today as we celebrate the 49th founding anniversary of the Career Executive Service Board and launch this year's Career Executive Service Lifelong Learning for Leadership Congress. It is very important that we are of the belief and have the practice of looking to continuously learning and retraining. And now ang buzzword ngayon is upskilling and reskilling. It is an extremely important aspect to the service that we give because of this very quickly changing world after the pandemic and in light of the Ukraine conflict. It is my firm belief that the state has the responsibility to mold its citizens into champions of effective leadership and good government. That is why it is very pleasing to see that the Career Executive Service Board has championed this cause of ensuring a professional and reliable career executive service. This contributes greatly to the achievement of the country's national development goals. Today's CESCO is also testament to the CESB's commitment to my administration's 8-point socio-economic agenda. The agenda aims to unite the nation, moving forward, to adopt a whole-of-nation approach. It is essentially the approach that we have applied to all public service and all government work. This whole-of-nation approach is used to implement our government development goals, the delivery of social services, and to institute a more people-oriented bureaucracy. This year's theme, Bounce Back Better, is inspiring. It inspires our career executive service officers and eligibles to be more efficient, to be more proactive in their mandates, and more unwavering in the face of the daunting yet fulfilling challenge of nation building. As you hold this year's event, let me put out another challenge and challenge you to learn from each other and to utilize the invaluable learnings and best practices highlighted in this Congress towards effecting the changes we would like to see in our country. I have just returned from the summits of the ASEAN and the conference of the APEC leaders. And it has been a very interesting, experience. Have to think very, very hard about what the new economy will look like, what government will look like in response to that new economy. What are the services in government that will become easier, which will become harder? And which areas of development are going to become less important, and which sectors of the economy are going to become more important? And for us in government, we must adjust accordingly. One of the centerpieces of my economic plan is to encourage the interaction and the partnership between public sector and the private sector. And to do that properly, we in the bureaucracy must be able to handle the new ways of doing business. We have to be able to, we have to know the different ways that now other countries are doing business, that other governments are doing business, so that number one, we will be coordinated with them, but secondly, so that we will be well positioned for our people to take advantage of these new, of the new economy, the new opportunities, the new possible investments in human capital. And for me, the most important part of all of this that we are talking about in the new economy, the new post-pandemic global economy, is the most important part is going to be how innovative we are and how agile we are. And that is going to determine whether or not we will be able to adjust to all of these fast-moving events that have affected us without any control coming from us. And so the continuous training is going to be an important part of the whole process. Because we will do things differently from before. Digitalization, as mentioned by the chairman, is certainly a very, very important first step. It is a necessary first step. If we do not digitalize properly, we do not digitalize and digitize properly government function, we will never catch up. Maiiwanan tayo ng ating mga karatig bansa. Kaya't kailangan matuto na tayo. At magaling naman ng Pilipino diyan. It's just a question of us, who call ourselves the leaders in government. It is up to us to provide them that training. We have to give them that training. And we have to have the capability for training all our people so that the work that we do is more efficient and is more responsive to the actual situation that is being faced by the bureaucracy and by the citizens. But let me use this opportunity to congratulate the 96 new CESs who recently passed the CES eligibility examination. You will now join the country's prestigious pool of career executive service officials and candidates who will be integral to the realization of our goal to have an agile and responsive bureaucracy. All of you have my trust and my confidence. I therefore hope that you will join me in reinventing this bureaucracy. Let us reinvent ourselves and reinvent the bureaucracy. Let me also reiterate that for this administration, the welfare of our people and the improvement of their lives are of utmost importance, and that's as it should be. But as we take the daunting task that is ahead of us, I ask you to actively take part in pursuing this administration's 8-point socio-economic agenda, policies that promote social justice, ensure food security, accelerate progress, protect our environment, and address climate change. Remember that we are here not for our own gain. We are here to bring forth a government that provides for the needs of the people. Most importantly, let us be vigilant against temptation and corruption and other acts that diminish the public trust. I am optimistic our CESOs and CESES, together with their colleagues, will lead by example and inspire our fellow civil servants to be dedicated, able, fearless, and honest in serving our people. Moving forward, I ask all of you to remain united in strengthening the institutional capacity. I know I'm being repetitive about this, but it is really central to our success. The institutional capacity, the development of human capital, the retraining, the upskilling, the reskilling, all of these things need to be done. We have a brave new world that we have to face, and we have to be brave in facing it. So we improve the institutional capacity of the CESB as we pursue much needed reforms and continue to implement the effective programs that we have begun. I assure you of this administration's strong commitment to enhancing all the advantages that we can to our civil servants, such as social working conditions, social growth, professional advancement of all our career executive officials. I'm also aware of the issues affecting the CESB, starting with Memorandum Circular number 3. As we walked in together with the chairman, and he said, "Oh, here they all are, the CESOs and the CESES, all the ones who are hoping to stay on." Well, let me assure our Career Executive Service Board and the affected CESES occupying third-level positions in the government that the Office of the President is going to review the said memorandum and look into the other hurdles faced by many CESES in obtaining CES eligibility. Let's work together. This is the kind of thing that we need. As leader, as president, I cannot do my work without all of you. And that's why you must be the best that you can be. We must give you the best conditions, the best training, the best capabilities, and that is my job. And that is why I need to hear from you. I need to hear from the leadership of the civil service. And that way, this partnership that we will bring together will have a synergy that will be felt by every Filipino. So together, let us address the growing needs of our fellow Filipinos. Let's provide them with the opportunity to lead meaningful and dignified lives. With your invaluable help and support, I'm confident we can bring forth the future we want to see and build a better, brighter, more prosperous Philippines in the years ahead. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay po kayong lahat at magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. President. What a truly inspiring message. We are now going to have photo opportunities with our guest of honor, beginning with a We are now going to have photo opportunities with our guest of honor, beginning with the CES officials. May I invite our CES officials to please make your way on stage. Stage right, please, for the photo opportunities. May I ask our senior CESOs to please stand by. Stage right. Senior CESOs, please stand by. Stage right. That is batch 2 and 3. Making their way on stage now is batch 1, our CES officials. Once again, all CES officials, please make your way on stage for the batch 1 photo. Smile for the camera. Thank you very much, CES officials. Now, we would like to invite our senior CESOs, Batch 2. Batch 2, senior CESOs, please. We have more space at the right side of the stage. Thank you very much. Let's fill up the space at the right side of the stage. Thank you. Everyone squeeze in. Please smile for the photo. Thank you very much, Batch 2. You may now exit the stage, and we invite Batch 3 to please proceed on stage. Batch 3 is another group of our senior CESOs. May I invite the CESB Secretariat, Batch 4 and 5, to please stand by, stage right. CESB Secretariat, please stand by, stage right. Thank you. On stage, we have Batch 3. That is our senior CESOs. More room at the right side of the stage, please. Please proceed to the right side of the stage. Thank you. Again, please squeeze in. Get ready to smile for the photo. Smile. Thank you very much, Batch 3. To our senior CESOs, maraming salamat po. And now, we have the CESB Secretariat, Batch 4. Here we go. CESB Secretariat, first batch, making their way on stage. More room at the right side of the stage, please. May we ask the gentlemen to please proceed to the right side of the stage? There's more room right side of the stage. Thank you. Squeeze in, everyone, and smile. Thank you very much, Batch 4. We have one more batch of the CESB Secretariat. To our final batch, please make your way on stage.